Well, I guess I didn't fix it perfectly, but it's pretty close. I can try to fix my camera a little bit better. Let's try it, people. Is that a little bit better? My room's a little bit messy right now, but it's okay. It's all good. What's up, everybody? Top of my head's chopped off a little bit, but that's okay. That's all right. We can work with it, right? I guess I can scoot back some. So, Happy New Year, everybody. JD Temple back here again with you. I'm going to start rolling a joint while I'm waiting for people to show up. This New Year's kind of been off to a crazy start for me, spiritually, emotionally, and energetically. Like, already it's been quite a freaking handful. Hey, Delphine, Happy New Year. Hey, Kier. Hey, Team Man, what's up? Hope all y'all had a good holiday and that your New Year's been good so far. Mine was good. Mine was pretty good. I'm just chilling natural tonight, so I hope that that's okay with everybody. Because I just want to be comfortable and I just want to chill. One of the things I wanted to talk about tonight was um, spiritual markings. I've had a lot of them over the years, especially early on in my awakening. And some of them happened before I got involved in magic, and it kind of like led up to me getting involved in magic. Was, being like physically marked by a lot of these beings. T-Man slept all day today and feels fine. Hell yeah. I didn't sleep any today. I didn't sleep much last night either. I had a I had a crazy experience last night on an edible brownie. So I ate the whole thing. And I know the dude that we got it from he was like, just eat half of it because they're really strong. And I was like, well, I was kind of in need of check out of reality. And so I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to eat this whole damn thing. And I kind of hope it kills me. Uh, but not really. But I wanted to check the fuck out. And that was the best thing that I had at the time. So I ate it and I sat back up here and chilled for a minute. And then, so then, it's all good, dude. Thanks, Dan. So, I ate it and it was not long before I was like literally out of body and it scared me. I hadn't been out of body like that and not exactly like that while I wasn't um on like a psychedelic of some sort, which I mean I know like this can become psychedelic. Edibles can definitely become psychedelic and I found that out because I certainly like I went out of body and I had a crazy experience to where I was like in on the astral plane and I found myself like inside of some kind of crazy vehicle that I was trying to maneuver and I didn't like understand how to make it work and I was trying to make it work and it was really crazy and I was getting really frustrated and it felt like that I don't know that I should have known how to do what needed to be done over there and I didn't for whatever reason. But this only lasted for like maybe 20 minutes and when I came back to my body I was like totally straight and sober and the effects of the edible was like totally gone. So it was like really really freaking intense. I went out of body, came back and it was it. And I was just like, damn. Mothra asked me later if they were any good, and I was like, "Yeah, they're all right." She's like, uh, "Are you fucked up?" And I was like, "Yeah, for a little bit." Because I mean, I was for a little bit. It wasn't that long, but it was pretty damn cool. I will say that. No, Lucifer didn't show up to have brownies with me, T man. That would have been freaking dope. There was definitely wherever I was on the astral plane, there were other beings there. That's for sure. But this was like a part of it that I've never been to before. Like I'm really not sure exactly about. the place that I went to last night on this. And with what's been going on with me here lately, especially for the past few years too, like I'm not surprised at all that I would start to have these experiences. Um, because as I'm sure like you can all feel it, you felt it for a long time. We've been talking about it for a long time. But I do feel that it's like actually like there are things actually culminating and changing now that we're gonna see and that we're gonna know and that we're gonna feel and that will become truths in our reality that may not be truths at this moment. Um, Nothing that's gonna happen soon. Um, I'm excited for it. I'm a little apprehensive about some of it because, of course, like I don't really know what that means exactly, but I can feel it. I can definitely feel it. And it's one of those things where it's like you feel it and you're trying to like make sense of it, but you really don't know like what the hell's going on, right? Yeah. So one of my first spiritual markings that I received, I was partying with some people, some friends of mine, and we were just like getting drunk and everything at this Italian restaurant, and then we went over to this chick's house, and I mean it was probably like 1 or 2 in the morning, and we all decided to go out in the woods behind her house because she lives on a Civil War battlefield. It's like a park, but she lives right on the edge of it, and there's like this really creepy. There was like this really creepy, like junkyard, like auto junkyard that was right beside her house too. That was like super freaking creepy. But anyway, we go out there walking, and this one chick kind of takes off in front of all of us. And as soon as she did that, I got like major anxiety that went over me. And I was like, yo, I was like, stop, stop, stop. I was like, we've got to get out of these woods like right now. Seriously. I was like, I can feel. And at that point in time, I didn't really know, my psychic abilities, my psychic senses, my astral abilities and senses, like were certainly not seasoned or honed in by any stretch of the imagination at this point. Um, doesn't mean that they weren't still very strong. They were. I just didn't know how to make heads or tails out of anything that I was going through. Um, but still, I could like sense it, and I knew like something told me that like even though this was just like a feeling that I got, really intense feeling out of nowhere, it was intense enough that I like felt it important to tell the group like, "Hey, everybody, we need to stop and get the hell out of here." And of course, everybody was just kind of like, "Oh, whatever, whatever." And like as soon as I had said that, everybody was kind of like, "Whatever." Right in the middle of my lower back, I got like this like pain. It felt like I got punched really hard, but it felt like a hot cigar, like a poker. I felt like I got poked like a really hard like a punch pressure like the pressure of it was like somebody punched me, but it felt like I got stabbed with a hot poker, but it was I had like the force of a punch behind it too, if that makes sense. Like it if like it literally felt like I was punched by somebody too at the same time. So it kind of threw me forward and it freaked me the fuck out, of course, because like I had just said this crap and then out of nowhere an invisible force like pokes me in the back like that. And so we take off to the chick's house because I'm like kind of freaking out. We all get up to her porch and everything. And I tell the dude that's hanging out with us, I'm like, hey man, like check, look at my back and see what's going on. And at this point in time, I always wore two shirts. I would wear like a shirt and then a t-shirt underneath it. And he got a flashlight out and he pulled both of my shirts up to so he could like see my lower back. And it's the craziest thing. I'll have a picture of it. I'll post it at some point. Like people that used to be Facebook friends of mine back years ago have seen it probably before. But like, swear to God, it's about that big. On the center of my lower back, I had like a burn, like a burn bruise, fucking pentagram. It was fucking crazy as shit, and I was like tripping out on it. I was like, "What the fuck? Like, what the fuck is this?" Like now, I'm really scared because like again like at that time I wasn't into this shit. And for something like that to happen to me, I was like, whoa, like this is crazy, man. Like, um, I was concerned about it. Let's put it that way. And I didn't understand what was happening. So, I was doubly scared because like at that time too, during this time, I was going to Catholic church. Um, I was even a lector at that time to where I was like reading in the mass, like reading scripture at the mass and stuff. So like I was pretty involved. So for something like this to happen to me was really, really wild. Um, the second time that I got marked, and this was the craziest one, and I've got pictures of this one too. And so what I should have really done is made this video and found the pictures that correlate with what I'm talking about and put that in there with it so that you can see what I mean because it's pretty strange. It's kind of interesting, and I'm pretty sure that I am not the only one that has experienced these kinds of things, and which is why I want to talk about it because that's the only way that we'll all put these pieces together of these crazy things that we experience here in this reality. A lot of it is a lot of the same. A lot of it is a lot of the same with a little bit of different twist on it. But there's a lot of us out there that are still very confused about what's going on and what's happening, and we can all help each other with this, right? Oh, thanks, Delphini. Appreciate that. So Delphini said that you had a teacher that was very anti-weed. He actually likened it to speeding around the astral plane without a seatbelt. Get a gram on me. Thanks, doll. Yeah, I'm working on it. I almost got it. I almost got her stuffed here, boy. What's up, Clay? Happy New Year to you. Alash, talalash, talash too. Hell yeah. T Man says, when I go on the astral plane, it takes me a while to remember who I am and what I can do. But when I do, I usually just fill myself with my own psychic power and disintegrate my surroundings. Cool, dude. Hell yeah. That's how I felt last night, dude. Like I felt all disoriented and shit. And like I knew that I could tell my mind what I needed to do and what I wanted to do, and it would just happen. And that is how it's supposed to be. But for some reason, in this place that I was in, it wasn't working that way. It was like I was functioning under like a major delay or something, and I knew that too. And so that was why it was kind of like I was like, um, I wasn't in that like astral sandstorm type of simulation or situation, but it almost just kind of felt like I was like in a quicksand type of invisible quicksand, if you will. And it was just making everything slowed down and not work right. And at a time where things needed to work right for whatever reason. I don't know, I couldn't even make sense of it. But hey, Jennifer Vatsa, what's up, dude? Happy New Year. Good to see you. You had an Amanita gummy last night and floated beyond the New Year's. Cool. Never had one of those. They sound awesome. I definitely want to try one. And just so everybody knows, um, I'm like highly into psychedelics and weed, but I don't do any drugs. And I don't even drink alcohol except for like here and there. Like I might have like one drink literally. I haven't had a drink. I had a drink at the hockey game the other night, the night after Christmas. I didn't even drink any alcohol on New Year's. Nope. Smoked a lot of weed, but I did not drink. Not that that matters, but like drinking for me is just not a good thing, and it just doesn't do me any good, and it makes me feel like shit. And you'll notice the further that you go in your awakening process, the more sensitive that you are going to be to every damn thing, even things that were like totally normal before, such as meat may be one of them. Processed food is going to affect you a great deal more, and you'll recognize the effects that it has on you. Um, People in your life, of course, that's going to be one, or you're just going to push the toxic ones right on out, just right on out. Um, but two, like medications will affect you differently than they used to. Um, just my body has become so sensitive. It's nuts. I'm sure y'all can probably identify with that. Cool. So everybody's talking about how most people it's legal in your state now, and that's awesome. I'm in Virginia, and so it is decriminalized here at this point, but I don't think it's fully legal until next year. But I think we can start having plants, and I want to do that. Um, I'm about 100 miles away from Washington, D.C. And I think that you can get, well, I mean, I know you can because I saw the websites. And when I was there a couple of days ago, I was going to try to get some just to see what was up. But they do have psilocybin in Washington, D.C. And you can get that from the dispensaries and they'll just like deliver it to your hotel room. So the next time that I go up there, I'm going to, see what's up with that. Place a little order in my nice little cushy hotel room and have them deliver to me some of the finest quality marijuana and psilocybin mushrooms. So that'll be cool. Never thought that that would happen. Definitely another thing that I brought to my own reality. And I guess a lot of you brought into your own realities as well. And that's fucking cool. Mm, mm. Yeah, I like that what you just said there, Delphini. She who lives outside the law must be honest. And it like makes me think of something that I was thinking about the other day. Like, you know, I look a little crazy with my piercings and my like neck tattoos and whatnot. And I do own a very professional business that I'm active in every day and I have to deal with people in their homes and everything. And I knew like if I decided to look this way, that it would be okay and I could certainly pull it off in a professional environment. However, that does mean though, if I decide to do that, that I have to keep my game at a very, very, very high level. Because I have found that like people don't know how to take me at first when they see me, but when once they start talking to me and they know that I've been doing this for 20 years and I know what I'm talking about, I'm going to take good care of them. And they actually have like the best dude that they could ever even think of having in the world in their house at that moment. I'm good at what I do. So whatever, I can say it. I've been doing it for 20 years. I can say it. Um, but I know that like this look also, like if I am not performing at my highest level, then and they start to get displeased with me, then this look, this image that I have begins to become very ugly to them and like even more than it would normally be. And so I know that like if I want to look like this, I have to perform at my A game all the time, or else people will actually be like much, much harsher on me than they would be to a dude that like just looks like a normal Joe that's out there doing whatever. Thank you. Yeah. Because like I mean, the my company, we're in people's homes and some of these are like multi-million dollar homes and I work for people that are, they have very high expectations and I can always meet them, but there are some people that we get in situations where I can't. And like usually this starts to come into play somewhere and like I can feel it. And it's just like certain people that like you just can't get through to them because like all they do is see is this and it doesn't matter how professional you are, how nice you are, how much you kiss their ass, they're just gonna be that way. I've been dealing with a little bit of that lately, which has been kind of weird because I usually don't experience that. Like even though I look this way, when I'm in a professional environment and setting, I can usually charm people. And with my knowledge and the way that I'm able to communicate to them, they feel safe and they feel reassured that I'm going to help them and do whatever it is that needs to be done for them in the best way possible. Um, But I do have to be again at my A game in order to pull that off and look like this. So I'm glad I'm able to do that. No, really? Delphine said he saw a pharmacy assistant with a Lucifer tattoo on his neck. No, that's awesome. Yeah, you still keep it where you can cover it. Yeah. And I did too. But like part of the reason that I got this right here is that like when I got these two tattoos right here, I knew that for the most part, that was gonna seal my fate as an entrepreneur of some sort, probably for the rest of my life, because I probably wouldn't be able to get a job, working for anyone. I mean, not being, I probably actually could. I mean, people are willing to overlook some things, but in my mind at the time, I was like, this will make it to where I can never get a job. So I'm gonna have to fucking work my ass off, and I'm gonna always have to be my own boss. So yeah, this tattoo has had all kinds of different meanings and purposes in my life, and all of them have been positive and good. Actually, I'm definitely not a person that I ever thought I would have a neck tattoo ever. I never thought I would do something like that, but I've done a lot of things I thought I would never do. Oh hell yeah, Clay. So are you, brother. So are you, brother. And we are, man. And like that's what's so cool about magic and about, I mean, just about magic because it is art and that you do become a living work of art through your magic. And it's like you don't have to look all crazy and alternative. Like it doesn't really matter what you look like aesthetically, but like the movements that you go through and the way that you set up your ritual space and like all of that stuff is so artistic, and when you put that art form and your magic together and it just like starts to kind of just like it flows through you and it's like it's an organic living thing that just like it almost starts to take on a mind of its own, and you grow with it, and it's just like whoa. I like look back on myself and I'm just like damn, a lot of embarrassing moments, but like some pretty cool moments too, and like I don't know. I've changed a lot. I've grown a lot. Been through a lot of shit, and a lot of you were there for it. And for all of you that were there for all the shit and have been on the journey with me, like if even it hasn't been the whole time, if it's been just part of the time, thank you guys for that. I really do appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. And I'm, as you can see, I'm trying to get on here more often and get back into the groove of this. And um, I don't know. I just have to. I have to. I don't know why, but I do. Clay said he loves the voices in his head that aren't his. Indeed. T Man says, reminds me of when I used to clean the governor's manor for work. Place was haunted. Someone made a full body mirror into a portal and didn't close it, left a spirit in there. Damn, that's awesome, dude. That would be a really cool place to work. I love old buildings. I'm sure most of you do because most of you that practice magic are probably drawn to all of that shit like I am. Um, that's why I love antique furniture. I love, all types of architecture, from like every style and every different time period. Um, I'm drawn to all of it, and I like feel like camaraderie with all of it. What's up, Avoid Pikes? Happy New Year to you. And I will let Sarah know as well. I think she's sleeping at the moment. Hell yeah, Clay. Clay said he wants to go to a haunted place and instead of looking for ghosts, let's conjure demons. I will tell you one thing, bro, from my experience, because I used to live in and well, I didn't own, but I was renting and living in a haunted warehouse for like 3 or 4 years, maybe five or so. And those haunted places with that energy are they are the best places to conjure demons or any type of spirit. Um, I have a new warehouse right over by my old one. It's like I've had it now for like 3 months. So I had the store, but I also have a new warehouse for my business. And it's like it's the same shell of my old warehouse, so it's like being back in the same place, which is so cool because I've been missing it like a motherfucker. I don't have the whole thing like I used to. I only have a small section of it, but the great thing is the energy is the same. So of course I'm building a temple there. It's going to be a minute before I'm going to be able to use it, but I can't wait, man. Like, dude, I get creeped out going over there in the daytime by myself. Like, it's perfect. When you get that kind of energy, and especially when you can like kill the electricity and just have everything just dead and still, and when you can feel the thickness in the atmosphere, and you get that like electricity, static electricity on your arms, and those hairs stand up, you know that you're in the right place. And like that is like it's the perfect environment. Like it gets you in like in the right mood, but also too, I mean, there's like a psychic quality there that is just like primed and perfect for your operation, and you know it and you can feel it. And like those are the kind of places that I really really just I fall in love with, and I love spending time there. No, I love you, man. Thank you. I miss you too. My magic affects you daily. Oh, you're sweet, man. I love you. No, don't. I'm not. I won't. So, getting back to the topic, I'm sorry I got off topic. Thanks again, everybody, for being here. So, my second spiritual mark was on my forearm right here. And this was a time when my ex-wife and my daughters were gone because I would kind of flip out and go crazy during my awakening, and she'd take the kids and leave for a month or two at a time, weeks at a time, whatever. But I would just be there alone a lot, day and night, just unwrapping and unfolding in my awakening, and unraveling in my awakening too. And during the part of that, I started taking some psych meds and going to see a psychiatrist and everything because we had already went to the church and they couldn't help. Started going to the psychiatrist, trying to get help like that. And so I'm staying at home, and I had this crazy, crazy freaking night, man. And ended up passing out. And I was out for a really, really long time because I had just started taking Seroquel prescribed by my psychiatrist, and it just knocked me the fuck out. And so I'm there alone. I wake up the next morning, but like now, not it wasn't the morning; it was the next afternoon, like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. My phone had been ringing off the hook. My office had been calling me like all day, and like nobody can find me. I'm just like dead to the world. And I wake up. And right here, my forearm, the tattoo's covering it now, but I will show you guys pictures at some point. I had a freaking, it was a bite, looked like a bite, looked like something had bit me, but it wasn't, it didn't break my skin. It had caused a burn. So actually, it was like a water blister raised up on my forearm in the shape of a bite, like something said, ha, and like bit me. Freaked me out, man. And here's the thing, like this spiritual wound, it would begin to heal, and then I would wake up one morning and it would just be back to the fur like it was on the very first day again, like reburned, and like had where all the healing progress that it had made was gone. This happened over and over and over again for 9 months, and then it was finally healed after freaking 9 months. It was the weirdest freaking thing. It left a crazy ass scar, which is still here, but the like again the September tattoo is covering it up. But that was probably the wildest one. The weird thing about it is that I wasn't conscious when it happened, so I don't know what the fuck happened. I was conscious for getting poked in the back when I had the pentagram marking on my lower back, but I wasn't conscious for the bite mark on my forearm. And it's not something that I've really ask spirits really a lot of like, what is that? What, I need to I probably need to and should find out what it means and what that was all about, and if there's any significance, or if it was just some crazy thing that happened and it's not something for me to really needing to be worrying about. I don't know. Zazas, Zazas, Na Santanata Zazas. Hell yeah, Clay. Thanks for the super chat, brother. Damn right. What's up, Bo Maseo? Happy New Year to you. And Avoids Pike said, it has been my experience that before and after a person gets a sigil of Lucifer tattoo, everyone has mostly the same mystical experiences. They've been chosen by Lucifer. Yeah, maybe so, man. I mean, I had these things happening before I ever even got the tattoo, but it probably did lead me to getting the tattoo. Without a doubt, I'm sure there's a correlation. And, does anything really happen before or after anything else? So, you can look at it like that too, right? But yeah, I mean, and I have the sigil of several spirits on my body, and I'm sure that it definitely has an effect on me and my in my life, and probably in my on my personality, really too, by and large. I mean, I definitely have seriously my actual personality has changed in many ways over the years through working with these spirits, because you do, I mean, especially when you tap into working with a lot of these very, very strong energies and personalities of these spirits like you do so often, you can't help but they have a lot of their essence can't help but rub off on you. And I think especially once you take their sigil, I mean, it's basically like a permanent portal. You're very intermeshed with them at that point. And for me, the two spirit sigils that I have on my body are Lucifer and Lilith. So, I definitely, those two spirits are the ones that decided that they wanted to have their markings on my body. And so Lucifer was the first one, and Lilith came maybe 2 years after that. Clay said he has a necklace with Belial on your neck that would have to be cut off. You're manic about your Lucifer sigil made by Asenath. Oh, okay. Hell yeah. She makes some really, really cool sigils. And her artwork is just like, what the fuck? And she writes beautifully too. I think the last thing that I read by her was Klepothic Meditations. It's like a red grimoire that Bog put out like, I don't know, 5 years ago maybe. Yeah. Oh, you got the blue. They got the blue suede book also. Okay. Yeah, I think I have because there's like what Klepothic Meditations and a Klepothic Evocations or something like that. I think I have both of those, but then yeah, the deluxe book was like blue or something like that, like you're talking about. And I don't know if there was like a third one of the Klepothic series or not, but maybe. No, that's the Lucifer book that's blue. Okay, okay, okay. Like Awakening Lucifer or something like that. I'm not sure if I have that or not. Maybe. Maybe. That's like the Bill Duvendeck thing. Hey, Star Ruby Corsi, what's up? How are you? I'm looking for my vape. I can't believe I didn't have it ready, handy around here, man. Is it in my pocket? Let me look out there beyond the light, beyond this bright ass ring light, and see if I see it. Oh, I think it's charging. Is it? Oh, it's not. Crap. Where is it? I need it. I need it. Damn it. Damn, that sucks. That sucks. I guess I don't really need it, do I? I should have quit them damn things already by now. Damn it. Anyway, Anyway, so the next spiritual mark was like right, which it was we were at, this is more of like an alien implant. I had it like right here on my chest, and it's like it was like a white scar, and you could like feel like a lump under it. Um, and it's I received this implant or mark on the same night that one of my exes received one too, and it was really strange. We both ended up waking up with crazy marks and implants one night or one morning. So this is like maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, and like when they first happened, they really hurt and they were very prominent. But it's like you can feel it when you like rub your hand over it. But I've almost been killed by a freaking animal. And that to me too, that was certainly something that was provoked by a spirit. Like I think that the cat was actually like possessed by a spirit, because I had never, like, this cat always acted really weird, and the cat's name was Church, like from Pet Cemetery. The cat was crazy, but it had never done anything like this. And like, I mean, I was just down on the floor doing artwork, and it turned into like a freaking rabid raccoon, and I just attacked my hand. And I mean, it was like, it was insane. It was crazy. I could not get this thing off of me. Um, it shredded my hand up. It bit me and scratched me like terribly. And my hand swelled up like 10 times its size. And I thought I was going to be okay. And I waited like almost 3 days before I finally went to the emergency room. And I had black streaks going up my arm into my armpit. And during this time, I saw what I believed to be death, or some type of something associated with death, twice. Right before I went to the hospital, when I was in my office, it appeared. And I started feeling really great for one thing. Um, I started feeling very warm and just almost kind of like, if I felt like I was on GHB, if anybody's ever taken GHB before, I felt like that. Felt like everything was just great. I didn't need to go to the hospital. I was gonna be fine. I just wanted to rest. Just wanted to go to sleep, really. And all of a sudden, I saw this freaking like swirling tornado of black moths that just appeared in the corner right next to me, and it was like it wasn't making an actual noise, but like it telepathically made a noise, if that makes sense. Like it made a roaring sound in my mind, like it was communicating to me like I go roar, 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 but it actually wasn't going roar, 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 like in reality. But like I mean it, but the audible manifestation did not seem like it was manifesting in reality physically, if that makes sense. That was a psychic thing totally, but the physical manifestation of it was very tangible and real. It was in this reality. Absolutely. I saw it. It was not a hallucination. As far as I know what hallucinations are, it was nuts. So it just did that, and it was kind of just like letting me know, like I am here, dude. Like, yeah, like this is real. Um, Ended up going to the emergency room, and then got ambulance to the actual hospital. Woke up in the hospital, and I ended up being in the hospital for 5 days. I was septic. The cat had, I had gotten infected from the cat, and so my blood was infected. And when I was in the hospital, that thing came back again, and I saw it again, and it just kind of did the same thing. And that was definitely some type, to me, like some type of like shamanic initiation in my mind. Like through that animal, I had that experience with death. It was really nuts, and I know a lot of it. Like when I went through a lot of crazy shit when I was out and unconscious on the time from the emergency room to the hospital. And like bits and pieces have been coming back to me through that, but it was definitely like kind of like traversing the abyss and shit. Um, and I know that like when I am supposed to recall these events, the events will come back to me and be recalled. But apparently, it's not time yet for me to fully realize these things. What's up, Jose Munoz? I was literally just finished meditating with Lucifer. Hell yeah. Nina, what's up? Yeah, it was cat scratch fever. Exactly. I can't believe I had that. What the fuck? It's kind of embarrassing, but the shit's real, and that shit, boy, is crucial. I was like, nah, I was not taking it seriously. You have to take that stuff seriously because it will take you away from here in a freaking heartbeat, man. So, what time is it? 11:45. It's 11:45 here. Um, we'll go for a few more minutes, I guess. Thinking about any other spiritual markings. Um, not just the ones that I have placed on myself purposefully. Um, oh man, one thing that's crazy. I also want to talk to you all about tonight is nuts. All right, this is nuts. Okay, so like I have never seen The Matrix before. I have seen bits and pieces of The Matrix, like literally like 3 minutes here, 3 minutes there, like a lot of probably the same scenes that you people have seen on clips that people use referencing that movie and shit. Like I'd seen some of those like karate fight scene and shit and like but I really didn't pay any mind to it. I never really did, was never really interested in seeing it. And of course, like people have always been like, "Oh my god, you've never seen the Matrix? Holy shit, you gotta see it, blah 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 blah." And so, I'm watching it tonight. And I'm just like, "Whoa, like this is pretty crazy." Like one of the things with me never seeing the Matrix and the information that I've been deciphering and picking up, like on the mouth of God, and how spirits and extraterrestrial beings do attach to your energetic body in that location, very much like how they use it in the fucking Matrix. I was like, whoa, fucking nuts, dude. So like there's definitely in my mind, from what I've received from spirits and like seeing what I saw in there, that there's definitely some elements of truth in that, without a doubt. And of course, y'all all know that this whole fucking reality is being governed by some kind of fucking matrix. And I do believe we are trapped and that we are batteries. Like all that shit is fucking definitely what's happening. Um, and like Lucifer's been showing me that more and more too. He's been, by showing me things like that, like a fucking, I'll be 43 in April, and I've been into this shit for fucking over 10 years, and I've never seen The Matrix, like I just wasn't meant to see it until now. Like now, it was a perfect time. It's like making everything make sense for me. Not that everything in that movie is accurate by at all. It's all a lot of there's those little bits and pieces and fragments of it, for me anyways. Um, but even though those small fragments, they may be small, they're still very substantial. I mean, and it's entertainment. Yeah, right. Most of it's entertainment, but there are some little small nuggets in there that are profound, that are very profound. And especially like when you get into, if you do sit with DMT often, as I do, like you do begin to see reality in those ways. I mean, it's opening my third eye so much more and more and more and more. To I'm understanding the whole process of life, death, reincarnation, afterlife, soul trapping, archons, all that shit. It's all it all it's all relatable, and there's all some semblances of truth to those things. um it'll make you go crazy if you really think about it, man. God. Whew. Especially too, once you get familiar with DMT in that space, and then you realize that like that is a spiritual plane that you're actually visiting consciously when you're sitting with that, and that's actually where you're going to go when you die. Um, it's a really good place to get comfortable with and um, to experiment and like feel around in. Um, because I do think that like preparing for that moment and knowing what to do when the time comes is going to be vital. And if you've never experienced it before, you're gonna like your mind is gonna be so rocked that you're probably not gonna know what the fuck to do, and you're just gonna be freaking. And that's how I was like, the first 10 times I did it. It takes a while to get comfortable and to be able to navigate what's happening. Um, and so for me, it's like when I'm doing that, I'm preparing for death. I'm preparing for being able to be conscious in that state and to do what I got to do. Oh, thanks, Ruby Corsi. Thank you. I really appreciate that, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Um, and of course, too, like like the psychedelic thing is not for everyone, and it's not. And it all right, it can't. All right, it is if the set and setting are proper. If you're with the right people, if you're in a comfortable environment, no matter what your situation is, you can handle it. And with the right person guiding you, you can get through it and have a fucking life changing experience. Not only that, but it just seriously opens your third eye so freaking much. And it's not even all about the psychedelic experience or the trip that you're going to have in that moment. And that's not even the important part. The important part is what happens after that in the days, weeks, and months that follow. And I mean, it really does like accelerate your your awakening a hundredfold. I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, I know from personal experience, from not doing these things and what happens, and then in doing these things and what happens. And I have found that when I do these things, I'm telling you, man, like it opens the doorway. It opens the doorway like crazy. Um, but again, that's not always for everyone. Um, for me, I feel that like it's vital, and I feel that that I don't necessarily have the luxury of having all the damn time in the world to get to where I need to get for whatever reason. That it's important that I do these things and that I do them now, and that I don't wait any longer and put it off and put it off and just keep perpetuating this the importance of like what this physical reality means, and that I can now like focus even more in depth in the spiritual realm, but still be okay and be able to maintain my life here in this physical one. Um, but aside of like my person or personal relationships, which are really the very, 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 very most important thing to me in this life, besides those, I want my heads to be in the clouds as much as possible. Um, and I found too, the more I got away from psychedelics after sitting with them for a period of time, it didn't take long for me to begin to like revert back to a very basic, very non-awake state of being and thinking. Like I just began to become way too grounded, if you know what I mean, to where I just wasn't living consciously at all, putting whatever I wanted to put in my mouth, um, not taking care of myself at all, not doing as much magic, just really just doing this worldly shit that doesn't do you any good and just makes you sick. I was doing a lot of that shit. Yeah. Doing a lot of that. Watching a lot of garbage television and just like really just like being a consumer, being a battery. I was being a battery, like a motherfucker. And I have found that, like, um, the more that I sit with psychedelics, the less and less of a battery I am, because I'm not of this world as much as I am without it, or with it, or what have you. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Brent? Yeah, conscious living does transform people. I tell you, it really does. Like, for me anymore, like I cannot. Hold on, my hips are hurting like crazy. I can't sit like that for too long. So I can't, like, for instance, I can't eat meat anymore at all. I mean, that's just not going to happen. Um, I have, like, realized too that, like, so think about it like this, like when you eat like raw fruits and vegetables and things that have come from the earth like that, things that like these plants are going to give you again and again, like you're eating light, you're eating sun energy, right? And that's food and that's sustenance. You're eating light, you're eating light energy, living energy. Like when you're eating a lot of this processed garbage and junk and crap, it's like it doesn't have any light in it, doesn't have any sunlight in it as much anymore. It's all been ground and worked out and processed out of it. It's like dust basically. It's just like filler shit that you're gonna just put in your body. Like it might be like some physical sustenance, but it's not spiritual sustenance. And like you can get both of those from food. But I'm like seeing like more and more that, like, and understanding like what I'm doing when I'm choosing to consciously eat in that way, is that like that's what's happening. That's why you're getting the benefit from it. You're getting that life force energy, and you're getting light, you're getting sunlight. You're eating it. I just can't eat any animals anymore. Like, I think that in the proper context, and if killed in the proper way, in a ritual manner, that the when the animal basically comes into agreement with what's going to happen via the ritual that's performed prior to the execution of the animal, then I think that changes it somehow. For me, I haven't put all these pieces together, but I just know from what I feel and what is happening, and just psychically and telepathically, I know that, like, there's really not much meat that I could eat here in the United States. Really, no matter how good the quality is, because I would really just have to know so much about it and what's up with it. And most of it's all just traumatized fucking insanity, and I can't do it. And it's not just because I care that much. I mean, I don't really give a fuck. I mean, I do though. I do. That's the thing. Like I do, yeah, and I do because I know how it makes me feel when I put it inside of myself. Like that's why, because of the experiences that I have when I do that. It's not that I really lay awake at night and I'm like, oh man, those damn poor fucking cows and shit. I mean, I don't until I put the meat in my mouth, and the next morning when I wake up and I'm like going through some crazy psychological fucking trauma craziness and shit, and I'm like actually feeling myself like merging with the freaking shattered pieces of soul essence that were trapped in that flesh that I ate, and I'm like, for about 3 or 4 days, I'm going through this as it's like finally working its way out of my system. It stays trapped in there for a while. And I'm telling you, it's horrendous for me, dude. This is no joke, man. It's crazy. Like, not only does it like psychologically, mentally, and emotionally affect me, and yeah, gastrointestinally too. Like, there's no part of my being that can tolerate it anymore. Like none. I can't tolerate it emotionally. I can't tolerate it physically. I can't tolerate it mentally. Um, it wrecks me, man. Like it absolutely wrecks me. It's nuts. Okay. I'll have to check that out. Thanks to Voice Pike said if you use really good quality headphones or earbuds, Sarah Krabat has a demonic binaural mantra on his channel that helps to stabilize thought. Cool. Hell yeah. That sounds cool. Haven't seen a cereal. I saw him around not too long ago. So Jose said you considered going vegetarian before, but that vegan teacher made me change your mind about it. Okay. I mean, it's something for me. It's like, it's been like a slow progression for me. Like I've been vegetarian and then I'd be pescatarian. I've never ever like gone full vegan before ever. I would usually always still eat like butter and eggs, but and drink milk and stuff here and there a little bit. But like I just can't eat any kind of meat anymore at all. I mean, and then if I eat like I don't eat French fries either or any kind of fast food at all, none. I might eat like a vegetarian taco or burrito from Taco Bell, maybe. Um, but I don't eat deep fried shit, especially if there's been like deep fried chicken tenders cooked in with some French fries. Like, don't give me the French fries, man. I don't want any oils. I don't want any of that shit. And it's not because I'm a fucking snobby fuck that thinks I'm better than people because I'm not eating meat. It's because what I just told you, it makes me fucking crazy, man. And I'm telling you guys, if there's any of you out there that feel sluggish, feel confused in the head, feel depressed, feel like that your body's not looking like it should, and you can't manage your weight and all this and that. Especially if your like emotions are like all crazy and up and down, and especially too if you're bipolar, like if you eat a normal diet like most people, that's of like high processed food, high sugar, high salt, high fat and carbohydrates shit, and meat too that's all crazy insane, it trust me, it probably is having an effect on you. And if you remove it from your reality altogether, you will be amazed at how like clear all of a sudden everything is and how much stable you'll be. It's in my case, man, I'm telling you, like I when I finally realized that that really and truly my diet was poison. It really and truly that my diet was making me crazy and that it was making me act in ways and feel fucking crazy, making me think that I needed to take antidepressants and shit and all this crap when really it was like totally manageable and okay if I just got all that extra crazy poison and toxic shit out of my life. Who would have thought? Like now, all of a sudden, you don't need that because you fixed yourself with food. It's awesome. I really don't do much fasting, Delphini. I mean, here and there, I will for. All right, so whenever I do fast, it's not intentional. It'll just happen organically. And if it's happening organically, then by like dinner time or something, if I recognize it's happening, then I will at that point just go along with it and keep going. Um, so yeah, when I do, yes, and I do have gotten great benefits from it. But I never like set out and intend to do it. Like I never be like, okay, today I'm going to start. Usually I just end up going with the flow with it because I kind of already got through some of it like without too much. Do I drink coffee? I can only drink like half calf coffee, and I can only have like one cup. If I have any more than that, I am like I can't handle it. I can't handle like any kind of stimulants anymore, and that's crazy because I used to be a crystal meth addict for years, which is crazy too. But like I can't even drink regular coffee anymore. Like I'm so sensitive now that oh my god, if I did meth again, I would freaking lose my mind. Like I don't even want to think about that shit, dude. Ugh, yuck, yuck. But like I just can't. I ain't gonna get into that right now, but I just can't believe that was ever a thing or that I was ever there. And that fucking hell, that shit sucked. Holy fuck. That'll be a whole nother damn live stream right there. Yeah, exactly. Smoke pot. Thanks. Thanks, Clay. Exactly. Blah. Blah. Yeah. I got a lot of weird things to say about that drug. Not all of it is negative, believe it or not, when it comes to not that it's a spiritual thing at all, but like it allowed me to immerse myself 24/7 into some shit to where basically like I was getting 24 hours a day of magical knowledge and insight and practice in a 24-hour period, whereas most people were only getting like 2 hours. I was taking advantage of the full 24, baby, for a long time. And so really like because of that, in a couple of years, I was able to get like 10 years of like actual practical hands-on shit going, just because I never slept and I was just like, ah. So, not that that's a good thing. And I don't I do not promote it as a positive thing in any way, but like that was a thing, something too that the spirits actually just needed to happen during my awakening because they wanted me awake to like commune with them and so they could show me like this is how you do this here and here and blah blah blah. Don't go to sleep, stay awake. Da 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 da. This is this, this is that. And then, after I was done with it, got they taught me what they needed to teach me. I had earned um, my privilege to sleep again and not have to do the drugs. They led me to ayahuasca. I went and sat with that medicine. It kicked the meth out of me. I've never done it again. End of story. But for many, many, many years, meth was like my spiritual go to everything. And I did believe that for a long time that it was my connection to the spiritual realm and that I needed it. And that without it, I didn't have one. And so the proposition of losing that, when I went to go do ayahuasca, I knew that there was a good possibility that if that was true, that my connection was going to be lost, and that would suck. But I was definitely willing to do it. I didn't give a fuck because I was so miserable, and that is no way to live. And I wasn't living. I looked like I was dying, and I felt like I was, and I probably would have. Um, yeah, crazy. What was really crazy is this. So, all right. So, there. So when I went to go do ayahuasca, for the first time, I was still addicted to crystal meth, and was like, I was actually like doing meth in the fucking hotel room the night before ayahuasca. I had been following the fucking dieta to a T. Wasn't eating meat, wasn't drinking alcohol, wasn't having sex, doing all that, but still doing meth, of course. That was that was something that I did that, which was why I was going, the whole reason that I was going. Sorry, I'm gonna tell you guys about that. Well, I'm gonna tell you guys about how I was hooked on meth, found ayahuasca, how I was led to that. It's a pretty interesting story. So if you guys want to stick around for it, I would really like to find my vape really quickly. And it might take a second to find because if I can't find it, I have another thing here, but I have to go find a thing. So just give me a second, okay? Go take a bathroom break. This is intermission. This is intermission, people. If you need to pee, please go pee. If you want to get a snack, if you want to roll a joint, now is the time. I will be right back in a flash, Jack. Okay? Be right back. Sorry, dudes. Trying to get out of here without fucking everything up too badly. Move this water out of the way. Where is it? Shit. Mm. All right, I'm gonna have to go downstairs real quick. I have to go steal one from Mothra. She won't like that, but I won't tell if you won't tell her. I'll be right back, okay? Okay, it's all good. And lighter. Okay. All right, I'm back. Okay, so. All right. All right, Nina, later. So. Whew, so yeah, thank you. Welcome back, everybody else too, and thanks for waiting for me. So, yeah, so have been living terribly addicted to meth for like a couple years. Um, doing lots of Adderall and doing lots of meth and usually like staying up for probably 4 or 5 days at a time, usually sleeping for two, going back up again for five more, like full 24-hour pulls, again and again and again. And if any of you ever live your life like that, it is fucking crazy. Um, wow, man, like it will change who you are, and you're it's horrible. It's terrible. That addiction definitely like pushed me to suicide like so many times. Um, I was close, and I tried quite a few times, and came close quite a few times actually. Came close at least twice in 2017, 2018 time period. But you know, my relationship with my children was something that was certainly like suffering the most because of all of this, and of course that's going to happen with something like that. um and the only time that I was really able to see them, because I couldn't even have them come and see me. um I was living with a pretty crazy woman at the time, and that my ex-wife was definitely not going to let my kids around, and I'm glad that I never did too. But anyway, I was like, and the only way I could see them was to go to their soccer games. They all three played soccer on Saturday mornings, like 10 minutes away from this warehouse that I lived in. And like come Saturday, usually like that was when I had been up like all week, and I would be like out like all weekend, and I would just like it would take everything I had just to like make it to their game. And I would usually get there and I'd miss two of them and I might see like half of one of their games. And I was just like, fuck, like this is crazy. Like I can't even get it together enough to like show up and be there and be present for my daughter's freaking soccer games. Like, what kind of fucking father am I? And I was like standing there on the sideline of my kid's soccer game, horribly addicted to meth, like just fucking like just not knowing what the fuck to do to fix it, and like had tried everything, and I was just like Lucifer, like please man, like fucking like help me dude. And like literally on the sidelines of the fucking soccer field, and I got my phone in my hand and I don't even fucking know how or why I literally did ask Lucifer, man, and he fucking I just next thing I know, I'm pulling up Google ayahuasca, and I'm like, oh yeah, I was like, I remember this shit. I had like looked into iboga when I was addicted to opiates, like 6 years prior to that, because yes, I am a big piece of shit. Not only have I been addicted to meth twice, but I've also been majorly addicted to opiates. And that was a long haul too. And that ended up methadone clinic, Suboxone, all you name it. And that was a crazy one too. But I had looked into Iboga for that, but was able to get off of the opiates through ritual magic. I was not able to do the same thing with the meth until Lucifer led me to ayahuasca, to Google ayahuasca. So I'm there still on the sidelines of the soccer game. I pull it up and I'm looking at it and I'm reading about it and I'm like, okay, yes, oh yeah, this can help me. But I'm like, but it's not accessible. Like I'm looking at some of this shit. It's like 5 grand to go to fucking South America, 5 grand just to go to the thing. And you're talking airfare and everything else. Like this thing's getting expensive. Like I can't got 7 grand to go do that. And leaving the country's tough, and I don't even have a fucking passport, and da 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 da. But then next thing I know, I'm led to the Soul Quest website, and I see that it's in fucking Florida, and I see that it's like at that time was like $650, and I'm like, oh man, like I was so elated. I couldn't believe it. I actually fucking signed up for it right then and there. Signed my shit up before I even bought my plane ticket, like everything from the sidelines, man. And like I already felt like a huge shift in that moment. Like just by making the reservation, like it was already things were already beginning to change. Like before I ever even like sat and communed with Mother Aya, like things were already happening. Like she is so magical, dude. Like I'm telling y'all, you're missing out. You are missing out. If you want to take your spirituality to the next level, like for real, man, you like owe it to yourself to go and like at least check out what's up with ayahuasca. Or if DMT, if you're more, I mean, ayahuasca is oral DMT. They are very, very, very different in the duration of the journeys. Um, I mean, they're very, very different. However, they are very similar. But they both do miraculous things for you in your life. Not only can they help you get off drugs, but like the opening of your third eye, helping you to like really see reality, helping you to be able to like be comfortable moving around in these spiritual realms and being able to be conscious of it and like actually like take deliberate actions in it. Like once you can do that, and then you can like help facilitate other people through the experience too, while you are also communing with them and you're all sharing that space and you're able to hold that space for them. Like it's awesome, dude. It's incredible, especially when you can share that experience with other people at the same time. And that's like what me and Martha have been doing a lot, is like a shared DMT experience. Like typically when her and I do it, like I would hold space for her and she would do the same for me. Now, every time, and I don't even want to do it the other way anymore, we both do it at the same time together. And it's always a shared experience every single time, which is fucking weird, right? So yeah, Lucifer definitely directed me towards ayahuasca. I'm telling you, man, like I can't wait to go do that again. Um, I was supposed to be I was supposed to be going to freaking Ecuador, and we were gonna do it, and we might still do it, but I don't know. I'm just kind of scared because it's not really at a place. It's like at this dude that lives there in Ecuador, and he just like will take you to some of these um tribes, villages with then sit with their different shaman and things. And like, I'm just scared to go to South America and to be there with Mothra and be, I love her and I'm responsible for her and her well being. And I don't want to be like incapacitated on ayahuasca and she is too, and not know what the fuck's going on and something could happen, and like, I'm scared about that. So I don't know that I'll be doing that. And so I might have just given a dude 2 grand deposit that helped a lot of other people have an awesome experience. It helped build his Maloka that they're all using, which is great and it's awesome. It ain't on him, it's on me. um, but I really wanted to do it. It was gonna be great, but I'm just kind of worried too. Kind of more concerned for Mothra's safety and my own than I am to like really having like an authentic experience. I mean, I've had some pretty amazing experiences, and I really don't need to be in the jungles of the Amazon really to like go too much further with it. I mean, I've sat with it like 14 times now, and I'm not saying I know it all by any means. Like I've only scratched the surface, like barely. Um, but I mean, I really want to freaking do 5 MEO, and so I think that we're gonna find a place to go do five MEO and stay inside the states where I'm comfortable and it's safe. I've been on a cruise to Bermuda. I've never been outside of the country other than that. And going down to South America, where my Spanish is not that great. I'm a blonde haired white boy. Um, they don't like blonde hair white guys, especially especially tall ones too. So I'm like everything that you shouldn't be to go there. So it's just not a good idea. Yeah, thanks, Delphinian. Avoid spikes. Yeah, trust your intuition. Exactly. Yeah, T Man, Lucifer is a great dude, man. He is, dude. He is, man. Like, what the fuck? He has taught me so much. He's helped me so much. Like, what the hell, man? Like, I don't know how he could ever be viewed as a devil. Is just weird to me because it's just not like that for me. You know, I don't know. It's just strange. It's just a strange thing. Yeah, I think so too, T Man. T Man was saying that's a reasonable response to going to South America because it really is a different rule set. Yeah, it is. I mean, and it was gonna be great. I mean, it was an amazing deal. And some of the places that we were going to be able to go and see. I mean, we were going to be able to go see a freaking volcano and shit, and like get down in the hot springs near the volcano, and all of these different cool little tribes, and like they all like make their ayahuasca a little bit different. Different shamans, different Icaros that I'm sure they're like original to them that kind of like unlock things and what have you when you're sitting with the medicine. So it would be cool, but I got way too much going on and I'm nervous about it. I'm just not ready. Martha was feeling the same way too. Like we were both really excited about it, but then like the time just started to, it just crept up. Like 6 months went boom, and it was like, oh, it's time to really think about starting to go. We got to order plane tickets. We got to do this. Like, ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Now it's getting real. You know, it should have been real enough when I sent two grand. That should have been real enough, but that won't real enough. It still wasn't real enough. But anyway, yeah, I can get better on my Spanish too. And I actually did want to do that before I went to South America. I did want to freshen up on the Espanol, without a doubt. So I'm assuming at this point that I will probably lose my money because, am I really even going to be ready to go do it in 2023? Probably not. Not there. Not there. Not like that. So, lesson learned. Um, I acted on impulse on that and just really didn't think about it too much. But anyway, thanks for being here, everybody. I'm going to roll out because I do have to get up tomorrow. It's going to be a long day. We are so busy, but it is so awesome because, oh man, things are fucking great. Things are stressful right now, but they're great. And I couldn't be happier. And I hope that everybody had a great new year. I hope that things are getting off to a great start for you. And I hope that tomorrow is great. And who knows when you'll see me again? It'll be very soon. New moon's coming up, I think. Get some magic in there. Love you guys. Smell my face, smell it good. See you on the next one. Thanks for being here once again, guys. Bye. See ya. Bye. Goodbye. See ya.